Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Commend Journey podcast. We are back with a wonderful guest this week, and we're looking forward to the discussion we're going to have. We want to thank you for listening and watching. And as we get into it, as in Commend Journey fashion, I'm going to let the guest introduce themselves, and we'll go from there. So guest, take it away.
Thanks for having me, Michael. I'm Alexandra Thiele, the brand development lead at Commend Americas, and I'm excited to be on the show.
Thanks for joining us. So as a brand development lead, we get to talk all about what that means and how it applies to our space. So the security industry is seeing this major trend towards the convergence of physical and cybersecurity. As a brand development lead, how do you communicate the value of this integrated approach to clients who may be used to thinking about them as two separate things?
I feel like this is one of the biggest shifts that we're kind of seeing in the industry, the convergence of physical and cybersecurity, right? So for a long time, people thought that those are two separate lanes, that you have a team that handled doors and cameras and access, and another team that maybe manage networks and firewalls. But the truth is, the real vulnerability often live in the intersection of those two worlds. So when we're talking with our customers, we don't want to just frame it as it's just protecting a door or protecting a network. It's about creating a holistic security posture that really gives peace of mind across the entire operation, right? And that's where Commend comes in. We're not just building a communication device. We're building systems that are cyber secure by design and reliable when moments matter the most. Take a hospital, for example. In an emergency, you need an absolute confidence that your communication system isn't just going to work, but it's also protected against a cyber threat at the same time, right? That's the difference. Mm-hmm. We don't just force our clients to choose between a physical or cyber defense. We deliver both. And that's why our conversations have shifted from products to solutions. We don't just tell that story. We want to show it. We want to demonstrate how to integrate that cyber focused communication to really elevate the organization's entire security. Really, it's the focus here between those two. So I find that really resonates with our audience because it's not just selling a widget, but it's talking and really focusing on protecting people and operations.
Yeah, absolutely. So that brings me to my next question. Taking all that into account, technology and security is a pretty rapidly evolving environment. We've got AI-driven analytics. We've got cloud-based communication systems now. And as a brand development leader, how do you balance promoting innovation while ensuring clients feel confident about the reliability, the compliance factors of it, the long-term value? We've seen in the market tons of examples where situationally businesses are not prepared to be or compliant enough to be in those spaces, and they get harmed.
Great point. It is, because I think to position innovation is about enhancing systems that are already proven, not replacing, right? And I think that's a really big key difference here, is that you're not replacing reliability and compliance. You're enhancing it with an innovation. And in innovation, people get excited about that word, right? It's just exciting. It's something new, but reliability and compliance, like you said, I mean, that is where we're going to win their trust. That's of course important. It's why I see brand development, especially, and really focusing on this. It's why we're trying to bridge that gap between the new and, of course, the dependable. When we roll out something like Ivy's new live translation, we don't want to represent it as just a one and done, right? Instead, we want to really show how it supports operators, for example. It gives them either faster insights or maybe helps them respond more efficiently. But that's just one example. It's there to strengthen their focus, not replace it. And that's really, I think, the really big piece that we want to think about when we're thinking about and talking about innovation, right, to our customers and to our audience, because we need to bring it back to the foundation. Compliance, support, evergreen, those items really tell our clients that we're in it for the long haul. It's not just it's not just a new feature, right? Because if you're in healthcare, detention, manufacturing, any and all, reliability and compliance are not optional. They're just not. They're the baseline, and innovation needs to build on it, not compromise it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that there's so many vertical markets out there where downtime is not acceptable. And we have to deliver those solutions in a lot of different ways and in methods where we can reach the customers where they are at. Now, we have another facet which has come into view here, especially within the recent years, which is security leaders and industry experts are telling and trying to get everyone to do more with less. So you might have a limitary on a budget side. You might have staffing shortages. You might have specific risks that continue to increase. How can brand leaders help position and specific solutions? That way, they're not just technology investments, but they're drivers of efficiency and resilience at these places.
Oh, I feel like we're seeing this. I really do. I will say, let's stick on the positive. I feel like this is a good opportunity here to showcase that the technology isn't just a cost line, right? It's a driver of efficiency. I really like to focus on that, really helping. I think I mentioned operators a bit earlier, right? Mm-hmm. Really helping them in their day to day. When we focus on outcomes like that, instead of just features or the budget, it becomes clearer, right, that the right solutions actually make the team stronger when resources can feel a little limited, right? And that's where integrated communication systems, I feel, really are a huge key to having when you're dealing and battling with limited resources. Instead of just juggling multiple different platforms that require their own maintenance and training, and you want to, of course, kind of cut down on that complexity and really focus on saving some cost, of course, but also speeding up response time. And that's immediate ROI right there in the form of efficiency, So the bigger story is really focusing on supporting the security teams, and especially if they're being asked to cover more ground with fewer people, then the technology helps them extend their reach, really helps them be able to do more with less. And smart, unified systems give teams the ability to respond faster.
So we take those facets, and now what we do is we look ahead. And so we talk about trends. And as someone who does brand development in that leadership position, when you look at the security industry and look at trends in communication and sort of how brands get positioned, what do you believe will define the next 5 years, right? So how should industry leaders prepare for the next 5 years based on what we see now?
I feel that the next 5 years, 5-10 years are going to be defined by a couple of things. First and foremost, cybersecurity as a baseline. Absolutely. Then we'll see intelligent interoperability. And of course, trusted brands. I mean, those pieces really are so very important because the future is about systems that connect. And it's not just about additional features, but you want them to be able to interact with each other. Take our AI-driven noise cancellation or real-time translation as different features. Those features are ways for the communication system to actually add more value by making the environment safer and operators to be more efficient, right? So it's not just about that piece. It's about adding to it. And at the same time, cybersecurity will move from being the differentiator, I feel. If systems aren't secure by design, it simply won't make it into these mission critical environments. Security leaders are already demanding this, and it's going to become more of a non-negotiable, truly. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, that brand trust, right? It's important to really build on the brand perspective when we're communicating with clients. It's not just about that kind of show and tell. It's more about really providing clients real proof, case studies, testimonials, but so they can see how these communication systems really can be adaptable, can be resilient, and can really just stand on its own.
Yeah, I think one of the best things that we get in what we do from our partners in our channel partner network is the stories that they hear from their end users about how our solutions have had that effect on their businesses, and that is not a review that you can buy. In that sense, as from the manufacturing side. And so getting to hear and read case studies and getting to see examples in the field is something that's pretty special. So I want to thank you for your time, Alexandra, and thanks for coming on the Commend journey. And we look forward to the next 5 years and beyond.
Thanks so much, Michael.
You bet.